Hello and welcome to the Jake Gilbert Show, your chance to hear the thoughts and comments of the head football coach of the Little Giant program. And Coach, another week where we get to talk about a good Wabash win against a very tough Wittenberg Tigers team, 28-21 victory. And it was a game that was not very pretty in the first half, had some moments that weren't very pretty in the second half. But this team just came together after halftime and found a way to come up with a win with a late touchdown from Brent Campbell to Luke Adams, and then a huge interception that we talked into existence on this show by Mike Holzclaw.
Yeah. Proud of our guys. You know, we're sluggish offensively at the start. I thought defensively we were playing pretty well. We gave up a short field touchdown off of an interception, unfortunately. Explosive play to a very explosive quarterback, which we knew some of that would happen. You know, we had a blocked punt, which may have been on me for attempting something that maybe we shouldn't have tried. So we didn't exactly put our defense in great spots is what I'm getting at. So to be down 14-7 at half, we felt pretty strong defensively that we could get stops if we just kept the quarterback in the pocket. And then, you know, offensively, it just took us a while to get going. We had a lot of guys. We had a bye week the week before. A lot of guys were rested, and we just looked out of sorts, out of sync a little bit. But luckily, right there before half, lightning struck, and we got the offense going. And then I felt like we were much better in the second half. But all credit to Wittenberg. I knew that was going to be a very tough game. You know, any change usually has a positive effect in the short term, and with the coaching change, we expected them to play very hard. I thought their staff did a great job, and they're very talented. And so that was a good win. I thought we showed tremendous poise. We were down at half. No one panicked. We had great confidence that we could come back and win the football game. We had a really hard call go against us in the second half when we were off the field on a third down stop, and then had to go back out. And then naturally they scored to tie it. But we just had to keep doing whatever was required of us to get the win, and I was happy that we did.
Let's go ahead and look at some highlights from that victory. Again, a 28-21 win. And as we're looking at the highlights, Luke Adams just had a tremendous day, a career high in receptions with 10, caught 3 touchdown passes, including that touchdown pass with 5 minutes and 30 seconds left that gave you the 28 points that ended up being the eventual game-winning score. What has made this such a special season for Luke?
Well, you know, I think, you know, Luke's a great player. And last year, he kind of got his legs under him, and he and Brent spent the summer, a couple weeks of the summer together, just getting their chemistry right. And so I think that has a lot to do with it. So Luke's explosive and smart. I think all of our guys, Coach Ramsey's done a great job getting our guys to make plays at the catch point, and Luke's maybe the best. And Brent does what he does, which is what you're seeing here. Runs around and makes plays and finds Luke. So we're pretty good at that as a unit, and that's been exciting to watch.
Yeah, we see this play. The special teams just continues to be amazing. You lead the nation in blocked kicks overall and in blocked punts. We see a blocked punt there that set the offense up with a short field. We've talked repeatedly on this show about the job that assistant coach Tom Ferner has done as the special teams coordinator, but that group just seems to really take pride in what they do and feel like they can go out on the field at any point and turn the game around with a special teams play.
Yeah, I mean, we believe we're going to block a punt in every game, so that's part of it. Is we think it's possible and we train to do it. We got some great players. Connor Grimes obviously has been the best, but Gage Goley has blocked punts. Tanner Crouch has blocked a punt. We've had other guys close. So we're obviously confident in our ability to block punts, and we want that to be a tremendous stressor to the other team. And we're aggressive. We know that. Now, we have not been perfect on special teams, and if we could eliminate our own miscues, we'd be really, really good. But we are aggressive on special teams, and it's shown, and I think it's paved the way for a great season.
One of the other guys that has really stepped up in your receiving core here recently is Connor Chase. You've had some injuries that have made you mix the lineup up a little bit. You know, Nick Whitty stepped in and has made some big plays, now moving into that starting position due to some injuries. Connor had another good game this past weekend. what has that depth at that position meant to this team?
Yeah, unfortunately, we've had guys in and out of the lineup with injury, and so we have needed that depth. But not only, have we had depth of guys that can play, but guys have made plays. So Nick and Connor both had close to 100 yards receiving. Connor had a great play on the scramble touchdown right before half. Nick Whitty was player of the game for us for his blocking. That was the best perimeter blocking he's had all season, and he's definitely had a big year with some huge plays throughout. And again, Connor has just made so many tough catches. I just have great confidence in those guys. They had great off seasons. They worked really hard. We're deep at receiver. And, I don't know that in the depth that there's a huge spread from 1 to 10. Luke has been our top guy this year. Cannon Chase has been injured some. He got out to a great start. We hope to have he and TJ Alexander back. So those two seniors have been exceptional. They've just been banged up a little bit. But if we can have a full lineup of receivers, we think we have a very deep house, and that's not to mention all these young guys we have that are coming. So we feel great about that position overall. Kudos, obviously, to Luke for having a career day, but also, just to Nick and Connor for stepping up and having huge days that if they don't have, we don't beat Wittenberg.
It was tough to get the running game established on Saturday. Credit Witt's defense. They spent a lot of time in the backfield, put a lot of pressure on Brent, but really didn't let Xavier or Javon Gary get loose in the running game. But your defense was able to do the same thing. With a great running quarterback like J.J. Miller, they were really able to keep him contained for the most part, and that was something that helped keep that game as close as it was, not letting him get loose and get free.
Yeah, I thought our defense done a phenomenal job all year. We're pretty deep at the defensive line. We play 8 guys regularly, but took a little bit of time to adjust to his elusiveness in the first half. And when you rush the passer, your rush lanes have to adapt for the quarterback's athleticism. And J.J. Miller's a great player. So he got outside to contain a few times in the first half while we were adjusting, I would say. And then we got it figured out and did a little bit better and started to sack the quarterback in the second half. And obviously that leads to getting off the field or interceptions and various things. So pretty happy with the defense overall in spite of the 21 points. I think there was a lot of good. We got 3 takeaways. Again, we blocked a punt. So I think we set our offense up for success, but we corralled a very dangerous quarterback, and that's hard to do.
Again, a 28-21 victory for Wabash in its final regular season home game before the Monon Bell game, where everything will ramp up a little more. Now you go on the road for the last time in the regular season, and you go to Oberlin, and we're not going to overstate that this game is a little different. 12-minute periods for Oberlin's safety. They have a limited roster. Credit to them for continuing to keep going throughout the season. But this is going to be an opportunity for a lot of players that we don't normally get to see on a Saturday afternoon play in a Wabash College uniform. We've seen them on Sundays in some of the Red Squad games, but they are going to get an opportunity to show what they can do. And how important is that for you to a coach, as a coaching staff, to be able to see them play against an opponent in a varsity type competition?
Well, it's great for our development. We practice our 2s, 3s, 4s all season, and we coach them all. And so we're going to be able to travel some guys that haven't traveled before and hopefully play some guys. We're really looking forward to that and see if they can rise to the standards. First off, so much credit and respect to those kids at Oberlin. I mean, these guys are playing because they love football. They're in a little bit of a tough spot with depth. I think Coach Pont is a great guy. I know he's had a very good career. They're in a tough spot this year. We have nothing but just respect for these guys fighting to finish the season, and so they'll get nothing but a class act from us. We'll play our guys, and we'll see how the game goes. They have played very well in the first quarter of their games. They just don't have quite as much depth as some of the other schools, and so they start to wear out a little bit.
Well, when they played Wittenberg just the week before we played Wittenberg, they held the Tigers score without a first down on those first 3 series, forcing them to punt. So a great effort by their defense.
They did better than we did.
There we go.
So no, we are focused on playing the game and starting the way we normally would start. If things go our way and we are successful, we're very excited to sub and play lots of guys. I know last year we were able to do that. I love that. I love when we get to play the guys who go with us. And so looking forward to several reasons. Hopefully come back with a win and move to 8-1, and big matchup looming after that.
Then it's time to get focused on something else. That game on Saturday will be a noon start up in Oberlin, Ohio. Links for the video broadcast and the live stats for the game are on the Wabash College website at sports.wabash.edu. Coach, safe travels this weekend. Best of luck on Saturday against the Yeomen, and I know we'll see you next week.
Yeah, see you then. Wabash always fights.
You've been watching The Jake Gilbert Show, your chance to hear the thoughts and comments of the head football coach of the Little Giant program. We will talk to you next week.